Greetings, everyone, and welcome. Just a couple of weeks to go before the big day of Christmas. Well, I hope you're managing to get all your Christmas shopping done. You know, Christmas is a time of peace. The angels sang, "Peace on earth." And in our little Advent booklet this week, we're looking at the subject of peace. And today's reading is about living at peace with other people. And I would like to just read those few verses from Romans chapter 12, reading from verse 17. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Be careful to do what is right in the eyes of everybody. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Do not take revenge, my friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, "It is mine to avenge. I will repay, says the Lord." On the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing this, you will heap burning coals on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Well, that's what we're supposed to do. I must tell you, when I was a young boy, about 11, 12 years old, I lived in a street in Cape Town where there are lots of boys. We used to go riding our bikes and shooting pellet guns and all sorts of things that boys do. But one day we were out in the street and we had a fight, as boys do. And one of these boys insulted my mother. And so I just moved off. I went back in the house and I told my parents what had happened. But there was somebody in the family, I can't remember who said, "Why didn't you hit him?" And I thought, that's a good idea. So the next day when I was riding my bicycle home from school, there was the same boy walking on the other side of the road from me. He was walking back home. And I thought, now's my chance. So I crossed the road and rode up next to this boy who had said these things. And I gave him one huge clap, as we say in South Africa, on the back of his head. He had no idea why I was doing it. And I didn't tell him. I just rode off. I got my revenge. Well, that was the end of the friendship. I don't think that I had much to do with him after that. I had confused him. I'd hurt him because he'd hurt me. That's just a simple example. We find it so hard to make peace. If we look at the world around about us, it is full of conflict, both internationally with wars, both here within our own country, where we know there's so much restlessness and violence. And even within friendships and family relationships, there can be tension and there can be a lack of peace. But this word that Paul gives to us, he says, our job is not to take revenge. God says, revenge is mine. Don't you go there. Don't you get involved in revenge. You've got another job. Your job is to feed your enemy if he's hungry. Your job is to give your enemy a drink if she's thirsty. In other words, your job is to do something that will make for peace. I would say also to pray for the person who has hurt you and who has harmed you. Now, that is a tough call, because you've got to let go of your feelings of anger and hurt and work your way, maybe slowly, but hopefully surely, to the point where you can do these things that Paul is telling us to do. But that is our calling as Christians, is to make peace and not to take revenge on people. And so I would ask you to think and to pray about relationships in your life that have gone wrong. just as my relationship went wrong when I was a young guy. I didn't do much more about it. I should have after that, but I never did. And ask God, by His grace, to show you what you can do, simple as it may be, to make peace and to build bridges. That is our task. Revenge is God's work. And so as we go into this Christmas season, Lord, please give us the grace to overcome our anger and our hurt and our frustration, and to begin to reach out in some way to make peace. May God bless us all as we try, by His grace, to fulfill that calling. God bless, and bye for now.